What's going on, you guys? Coach here, just talking about this Raiders win against the Lions. Yeah, a win's a win. I don't know how many of you died of a heart attack, but I know I would have had I seen it live. I could not watch this one live. It's this thing called work, adulting, you can say all that stuff, gotta pay bills and so on. But from what I saw of this game and the tape that I could find of this game, the defense was awful. I'll just say that up front. The defense is not good enough to win games normally. But they made some plays when it mattered. So that the other thing I could complain about, which is minor, is conservative play calling. Like, I don't see that killer instinct in the fourth quarter. This team doesn't put away an opponent. Now, that being said, the Lions are better than their record is. They've played a lot of close games. They really should be like the Raiders, a 500 club. Two teams really similar playing close games, and they've usually lost heartbreaking games and so on over the years. So I won't complain too much over that. This was a very close, tight game on both ends. Two good quarterbacks, two awful defenses. That's what happened. Now, at the end of the day, I got to give my credit to Derek Carr, Waller, Josh Jacobs. We all know what Josh Jacobs can do. If he does Jacobs things, runs the ball, and so on, this team will succeed on offense. And I think this game, he once again tore it up. He's going to break some. I think he's going to break some franchise rookie records. I think he broke one for Marcus Allen through, 8 games so far. And then, of course, Derek Carr. He had to make plays when he needed to, and I got to give credit where it's due. Now, if he keeps this up for more games, he's going to stay, and they're going to go to Vegas with him. That was a big question coming into the year, and it's 2 games, but he did his job. Now, that being said, it's also the Detroit Lions defense who, if anyone's been watching them, their defense is not exactly the greatest. So, where do you go from here? Well, the Raiders are right now they are exactly what their record is to me, where they look inconsistent. They look up and down and up and down. And Derek Carr, to his credit, he's actually doing this without really any legit wide receivers or any weapons. People could say Amari Cooper should have been there and so on, but I don't really regret that trade at all. But the defense, there's a lot of issues. We could talk about how good Max Crosby has looked at times, but Carl Joseph, still a huge question mark. I'm not a fan of him right now. I know he made that play on 4th down and so on, but it really should not have come down to that last 5 seconds or last couple minutes of the game. I mean, when the team scores with that much time on the clock, nowadays I don't even get excited over touchdowns like that. I'm sorry, but I've just seen so many games where the team has blown it, where they find ways to lose, they find ways to do it, and I don't wait until I see 4 zeros on that clock and my team has more points than the other. That's usually how I am with some games like this. So, a win is a win. That was a must-win situation because the Raiders were, I believe, every team in the AFC West won this week, including the Chargers, which that is also now the biggest game of the year next week. If the secondary plays the way they did against Phillip Rivers, they're going to lose. They're going to get destroyed, and you have to win the game 42-41 or something like that. The defense really was turned over by the one interception, that Worley one, big interception that changed the game. If that doesn't happen, this is an ugly, high-scoring affair, and I probably would not want to be talking much about it. But a win is a win at the end of the day, and obviously I'll take it. But there's a long way to go. If this team wants to be a playoff team, I don't see it right now. That's just, you're there. That's the good thing. The AFC is still not very good. Even the Buffalo Bills, I don't think they're as good as their record is. There's really no team that matters in the AFC except one, and that's it's the one who lost to Baltimore this past Sunday night. And I know Baltimore is also another level, but the schedule's easier. I know y'all are going to say the schedule's easier. The Raiders still cannot overlook an opponent. That's the one thing you never want to do. I don't think they overlooked the Lions today. They really, both teams played up to their level, so a win is a win. There's still a lot of path to go if they want to prove themselves, but they got it done. They got it done in an ugly manner. I wish they could learn to put away an opponent, not just let it come down to one possession or one interception at the end. That's really what we've been seeing, and up to this point, they are better than what I had them. When I came into this season and I was going game by game, I said this team would be about 3-5, but okay, they're 4-4. You're halfway through the season. you're right in the hunt. It is an upgrade from last year, and a lot of you are going to say that, and that's fine. You can put that positive spin on it. That's the right. For me, of course, I want one accomplishment only, and that's get to the conference championship game of the AFC. It's greedy, it's unfair, it's unrealistic, but the decade-long championship game streak is on the line this year. I mean, I don't know if anyone saw the baseball records, but the Yankees, this was like the first decade of them not playing in a World Series in like 100 years. I think the 1910s was the last time they didn't play in a World Series. So, yeah, similar situation with the Raiders. Their entire franchise history, they've at least been in the conference championship game at least once in a decade, and they haven't done that this decade. So, I'm still thinking about that. At the end of the day, that's why I hold this team to a very high standard, because there is no next year. At least not for me on YouTube, and not in Oakland, as we all know. It is still technically a rebuilding year and a transition year to Vegas, and a lot of you can say there's progress, and that's fine. But I still hold this team like this is my Super Bowl year or nothing at the end of the day. Going into one last question I thought about this game, or that's away from this game, is we're halfway through the year. Who's your disappointment and who's your surprise of the year? So far, my surprise team would be the two NFC West ones in the 49ers and Seahawks. I thought both of those teams would not be where they are in the standings. And I know some could say the Packers are a slight surprise where they are. But disappointment, Chicago Bears and the Cleveland Browns. Those are the two I thought would be much better. And good thing, every time the Bears lose, it's always good. And obviously you know why. So you can cling to the Bears losing this week. They're 3-5, and I think the Raiders contributed to that. So far, so good there. So see you guys later. Let me know what y'all thought of this game. I'm still kind of just meh. They won, but I need to see better if this team wants to be taken seriously. See you guys later.